The Trumps launched their own mobile phone, and I'm going to use it to call bullshit. This is just another day. For years, Americans have called Donald Trump corrupt, dishonest, blatantly offensive, nauseating to look at. The list goes on and on. Well, now there's a whole new way to call him those things.
The Trump Organization, which is the holding company for President Trump's business ventures, has announced the launch of a new cellular service and a new smartphone. It is called Trump Mobile.
Why? I mean, I know why, but why? Donald Trump has spent the last decade telling our nation that he had plans to make America great again, but apparently it was just a phone plan?
It will offer a monthly plan that costs $47.45. That includes unlimited talk, text, and data. The 47 and 45 referring to Trump being the country's 47th and 45th president.
So the man who, during his inaugural address, vowed to heal the nation and bring people together has decided the best way to do that is by dividing Americans over something everyone is united on? I mean, come on, everyone hates their phone plan. We can't get service in certain areas, the text won't go through, the dick pic you sent looks way smaller than you thought, no matter how many times you use flattering lighting or a dozen different filters. What were we talking about? Oh, dicks, right. You know, with all of this man's immense wealth and deal-making skills, shouldn't Donald Trump just start a MAGA food bank or some orphanages? You know, instead of a new carrier plan and some glitterized android? Maybe Maria Bartiromo, former business anchor turned QVC shill for Trump's self-dealing, can help get us some answers.
You've got an announcement on a new phone. Tell me about that and what you're looking to, quote-unquote, correct here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Maria, more and more we're using technology as a company, right, to correct the problems. And now we're doing Trump Mobile, and Trump Mobile is going to revolutionize cell phones, mobile calling. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it safer. We're going to have more functionality, more features. And the coolest thing about all these ventures is we're doing it right here in the United States.
Wow. It is pretty surprising to see Maria on television helping hawk a Trump phone so the president can exploit Americans to get richer, considering there was a time where she had some pretty strong feelings about even the optics of politicians' families' self-dealing.
It's not just the fact that Hunter Biden was selling influence and selling visits to his father, selling this okay on deals. All the money was commingled.
You know, I'd call Maria a hypocrite, but I doubt she'd hear me now that she uses a Trump phone. But as far as Eric's big announcement, I gotta hand it to him. That is very cool that they're making everything in America, except for the fact that America lacks the necessary infrastructure to make any of that happen. In fact, here's how I know we don't have the infrastructure. Less than 1 month ago, Donald Trump took to that other company he owns, Truth Social, to threaten Apple with a 25% tariff unless they took operations out of China and India and started manufacturing their phones inside the United States. And everyone was pretty quick to point out that that was never going to happen.
Apple will not be moving iPhone production to the U.S. Analysts estimate that if it did move iPhone production to the U.S., it would take 5 to 10 years. And that once that happened, iPhones could cost $3,500. That is 3 times the amount that they cost today. And consumers just wouldn't buy that product.
5 to 10 years and triple the cost? Well, maybe that's because Apple never thought about making it in gold. Did you ever think, what's that? They did. Oh, well then maybe, and this is just a hunch, Eric is lying?
You're going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America, and it's going to be cheaper, $47 a month. You're going to have more international dialing for free, hundreds of countries, international dialing for free. It is the biggest bang for the buck, and we're really excited to get into the space.
That's right. Eric Trump has been so excited about getting into this space. And as you can imagine, competing with the biggest carriers on the planet like AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile, not to mention 2 behemoths like Apple and Google, takes some time and an enormous amount of diligent preparation, which is why the Trump Organization agreed to license their name to this business in late April. We are witnessing just the latest piece of corruption from Donald Trump and his family. They don't manufacture phones any more than they manufacture the other products they slap their name on and relentlessly shove down the throats of their marks. They manufacture one thing and one thing only: greed. And the ease with which they attempt to disguise their greed for patriotism or providing for Americans truly makes me sick. If only there was some cure.
With Trump Mobile, we're going to be introducing an entire package of products that people can come, they can get telemedicine on their phone for one flat monthly fee.
Ooh, Trump telemedicine. Sign me up to never sign up. I don't know what it is, but I'm a little hesitant to trust the family that put the diarrhea diver in charge of our nation's health policy when it comes to my access to reliable medical care. And I'll tell you who should really be apoplectic about this new mobile device: JD Vance. Because if you head over to TrumpMobile.com, it seems like they just hired a thinner and more attractive JD to hawk their phone. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that guy standing behind Trump at next year's State of the Union. But seriously, how much more griftery can this guy get? The steaks, the vodka, the Bibles, the games, and now your phone? I'm shocked Trump hasn't launched his own line of condoms yet, because all he does is routinely fuck people over. Donald Trump did not get into business to help his government, he got into government to help his business. The President of the United States has already used the FCC to launch investigations into media outlets that he hates, and now he's going to use the same FCC to go after his mobile phone competitors. This is the only way the Trumps could ever actually compete in this space, and it's appalling to say the least. This is pretty basic stuff, but imagine you live in a small town and happen to be in charge of the approval process where kids in your quaint little neighborhood are allowed to have a lemonade stand. Well, if that's the case, then you, as the lemonade stand regulator, should not also be allowed to own a lemonade stand. Again, basic stuff. Look, the Trump name has always been about taking advantage of people for personal gain. His father did it with real estate, Donald did it for decades thereafter, and not just with products where he actually doubled his net worth in 1 year, but also with women and currently with our democracy. And now, the Hardley boys have been passed the exploitation torch. Financial disclosure reports show that last year alone, the Trump family made $2.5 million off his gold sneakers and fragrances, $2.8 million off watches, and $3 million off the Save America coffee table book. Because when you have company over, looking at a bloody face is always a very strong conversation starter. This is not some clandestine crypto dinner where they're hoping a handful of billionaires empty their wallets, which is a thing they're also doing. This is a targeted snake oil campaign toward the working class supporters who got their father elected. As Donald Trump cuts food stamps and Medicaid from everyday Americans, his offspring is trying to convince them that instead of food and health care, their money is better spent on some right-wing phone plan disguised as a patriotic duty. Honestly, I actually feel sorry for any Trump supporters who keep buying all the stuff this family sells, but if you can't see by now that our president is a grifter of the highest proportions, then have I got the product for you. Cohen binoculars, the perfect product for patriots who love their country but have a little country seeing how badly they're being fucked over. For just 12 easy payments of $79.99, you can be the proud owner of the optical instrument that brings your scheming president into plain view. Trust me, if your vision for the future could use a little extra vision, then there's no better choice than Cohen binoculars. Just wait till you see for yourself. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.